We clinicked all day and then watched the that was the night of the Wilder fight.
Yeah, did y'all watch? Yeah, you guys were at the bar watching that fight, right?
We did. We went to their version of the Power and Light KC Live area. It's not called KC Live there, but I don't know what it's called. But we went to their version of that.
Not as good.
And it was cool. Watch the fight. It was a good fight.
It feels more like, the Power and Light KC Live stage. It's like it is truly an outdoor bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And theirs was more indoor.
That's right by Busch, isn't it?
Yeah. We were. Our hotel was right down the street from Busch Stadium. I went and peed on it. No, I actually didn't, but thought about it.
Wow, Busch Stadium.
Yeah.
This is what you get, Cardinals.
The Royals have won a championship since they have.
Yeah, for sure. That's right. You know what? We may only win 60 games this year. I got my shirt on today. We may only win 60 games this year. Maybe a little more. Maybe. But fans are loyal. So
we'll be out there tailgating.
Yeah.
We'll go to a couple games.
Yeah, especially so for us, what happens is when I'm trashing the St. Louis Rams fans for a sec. When your price reflects how good you are, you can still go to the game, right? Because a lot of times these Royals tickets, you can get a group deal where your ticket's like $7, $5, whatever, $12, $20, whatever. Rams tickets got cheap too, and still nobody went. Boom, and, NFL's gone. So we still support our teams, and I'm in favor of supporting the team as long as that price reflects what they are.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
not going to pay $100 to go watch a really bad baseball team.
So this reminds me of a situation.
I'll pay $20.
Well, here's
sure.
Baseball's kind of an atmosphere sport.
I'm with you on that too.
Yeah.
It's a sport you can go have a good conversation with Dad. You and Dad can go out, talk. Oh wow, home run. Okay, now back to our conversation, right?
Yeah, it's a
different sport.
Yeah, it's a totally go to the stadium, just hang out. You don't feel bad for walking around. And now if it's playoffs, different story, right?
Yeah.
You want to be in your seat for every pitch.
Well, there's nothing like baseball playoff. The sounds coming out of stadiums for baseball is just a constant chatter for 9 innings, right?
Yes. Yeah, you're right. You hit the nail on the head for the atmosphere. And the T-Bone's the same way. It's fun to just go there, grab a drink, grab a hot dog,
go
to
have
your
a
seat,
show,
and then
do a show. Speaking of the T-Bones, I'm glad you brought that up. Some news came out this last week, I believe, or maybe it was the week before, but new owners, new blood in there a little bit, and I'm excited for they're talking about they want to make the stadium more than just a baseball stadium. They want to make it an experience, which I believe in that level of baseball.
It's been an experience too over the years. They're just changing it. They're just reinventing it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like at that level of baseball, that's what you need to do. Is you need to be an attraction, not just the baseball. The baseball will bring people in. They won a championship 2 years ago now, Jim.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the baseball's been good, but people want more because we already have the Royals here. So they're going to do that. They're going to put some other things in to bring people to the stadium.
The one thing that I've always said about the T-Bones came in during the right time. 4 or 5 worst Royals years ever.
Yeah.
We were one of those that switched. We used to take our oldest daughter to a Royals game for her birthday every year. We switched to the T-Bones because it was cheaper. It was fun, well done. They had a play park. You don't have to spend, $30 to let your kid go out to the playground at Royal Stadium. If I go to a Royals game, I want to watch the game. I don't want to be at the play park. T-Bones,
yeah, I hear that.
You can actually see the game from the play park. So it's fun.
Yeah, one thing I'll say too about what you're hitting on as far as making it more of an experience is I went to this is 7 years ago now, but I went to Frisco, Texas. They have the minor league for the Dallas Mavericks, and that was the game was pretty cool. But literally while the game is going on, there's a lot of stuff going on around the game. Big old play area for kids. And every single, either between quarters or a long timeout, was like some kind of bizarre, wild sideshow thing, right? Mm-hmm. So obviously they do have like cheerleaders or and a dance team, and they did like a dance. The dance was great, right? And then like on the next time out was like, all right, get ready for the better dance team, and it's a bunch of big dudes in small costumes dancing, and that was hilarious, right?
Yeah.
They did
I think I was on that.
They did. Were you in there?
I think so.
You did a good job. There was one thing that I don't even know. Like I've tried to describe it to people that I was watching, and I don't even understand what it was. Some weird sideshow thing.
Okay.
All these people started like jumping up and down and dancing. Some kind of party music's going on, and in the middle of the big group dancing, they had some dude wearing glasses, and he was bald, and they were like throwing him up in the air, and it was just like party with. I can't remember what his name is. They kept throwing him up in the air, and then all of a sudden it was over, and I go, I don't even know what that was, but it was entertaining. So they got what I'm getting to is. I agree with you on the experience stuff. They just need to do a bunch of crazy stuff between innings.
Yeah.
Crazy races.
And I like the things they did last year. They had, I think Morgan was her name. The girl.
Morgan Kalinda.
What's that?
Morgan Kalinda.
There you go. And, yeah, she would go out and, they'd have kids race from the base to base or,
I like that
do
one.
different things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was cool. It was fun, well done. And now it's bona fide fun. So, single game tickets are going to go on sale here in a couple weeks. I think March 20th was the date I saw on their Twitter, but you guys can check them out. T-Bones Baseball. If you just Google it, you can find all their social media and everything. We big fans of the T-Bones and the baseball
Brownie,
park.
Chris Brownie.
Yep, Chris Brownie, the general manager, been there really since the inception of the team.
Yeah,
So-
he started out with Rick Montine. Rick Montine was, I believe, their second GM. The first GM wasn't there, I don't even know a year. But Chris was a clubhouse boy during the '85 World Series, so obviously loves what he's doing and loves baseball. And I told him he ought to move his. He's got a museum in his house, a baseball memorabilia museum in his house, and I think they need to build a building out at T-Bones Stadium, and I mean it's unbelievable.
Maybe we should do a show from there, showcase some of the memorabilia.
That'd be fun.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
also real quick, Brownie last year got inducted into the Kansas City Sports Commission's awards as the Businessman of the Year, along with no other than P. Diddy Patrick Mahomes. Boss.
Patrick Mahomes. Who's that?
P. Diddy Patrick.
Who's this Patrick Mahomes kid I keep hearing about? I don't know.
Best coach QB
Yeah.
one.
Oh yeah. Obviously that was a joke, people. I know who Patrick Mahomes is. I know I'm wearing Cowboys gear, but
He's got Dak on his mind. Not as much lately.
Good reply, Austin, on the Cowboys mention I put up there on Facebook you had the other day.
Yeah, did you read that?
I read that. That was
I don't know. I don't know if I saw that. I probably did.
I don't know.
You were tagged in it.
Jerry having bad. Not really. I mean, not bad things to say about Jimmy, but
Oh yeah, that he's not going to put him in the Ring of Honor.
never crossed my mind. Nothing like that. And I'm like, it definitely has crossed your mind because you definitely think about it,
So
and you decide to do it or not, and he's not doing it.
I read another article. It wasn't that one, but another one I read because I keep up on it.
Yeah.
And the thing that Jerry said, which I don't know how I feel about this, he said the only coach that's in the Ring of Honor is Tom Landry. Okay? Tom Landry, one of the greatest coaches of all time. He said that's the only coach that's in the Ring of Honor. And he went in the Hall of Fame before he went in the Ring of Honor. So why should Jimmy Johnson be different?
Oh, come on.
That was his excuse. And I don't know how I feel about that because obviously Tom Landry was a different situation.
And he fired the guy.
Yeah. So, which I think moving on from Tom Landry when he bought the team was the right decision. The way it was handled was not right, but it was the right time to move on. I mean, new owner. Let's get some new blood in here. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
I think Jerry Jones likes to take all the credit for all those rings that
I
he
agree.
won. I don't think he
that's-
thinks the coach had anything to do with it.
That's the beef between him and Jimmy. I mean, that's which Jimmy Johnson says in his book that he had a 5-year plan and he moved on after 5 years and that's what he wanted to do. And I don't believe that for a second.
I don't either.
I mean, I believe that he had a 5-year plan, but I don't believe that he wanted to move on from that team. I think he knew that the team he built was built to win and could sustain that. But Jerry did want credit for we traded this guy or we drafted this guy. And
I like to say he sold himself to the devil to get all those championships there in a row with the salary cap and everything.
And although Jerry was writing the checks at the time, I don't think Jerry was really a football guy. I think Jimmy had a lot more to do with that than Jerry did. But we'll never know. But that's the point of contention between the two. And although I believe they're cordial if they're at the same event,
Yeah, most likely.
I don't think any private
I mean, they probably don't even talk to each other if they don't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing is this: if he wants to act like after one coach being in his Ring of Honor, that's his, he doesn't have 5 in there, right?
Yeah.
So it's not really a real precedent. You know what I mean? If it's 4 coaches, hey, this is how we do it. We wait for them to get Hall, then we put them in ring. But the deal is, why do you wait for them to be in the Hall of Fame and then put them in ring? Because, which you'll agree, the NFL Hall of Fame is a more distinguished honor than the Cowboys Ring of Honor.
Yes.
So what the heck? He should be in really should get in the Ring of Honor before he goes to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So he probably should have been in the Ring of Honor 10 years ago.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know why Jimmy wasn't put in earlier. I firmly believe it's because of their relationship.
So one thing I said about Jerry was kind of the comment I made was that he has turned into one of those owners that is liking to take credit, a little too much control. I don't believe as long as he's in firm control of the team, I don't think they win a Super Bowl because I think he gets in his own way. He does a lot of good moves and then he gets in his own way. The Dak deal has been handled terribly. The way that's going with Patrick Mahomes it's always been clear cut. The Chiefs have said, "Hey, we're giving a." They actually said they gave it a timeline. They said 12 to 14 months. Within that time, we're going to work on the contract. We're waiting on the CBA. Blah blah blah, because they don't have to extend Mahomes till after next season because this is his 4th year, and then there's a 5th-year team option too. With Dak, it was always unclear what they're going to do. Unless you guys can get Brady, you're going to re-sign Dak. Right? Unless you want to rebuild.
See, I mean, I think franchise is the way to go. I've said that before. I'll say it again. I think franchise is the way to go with the change in head coach, change in system.
Yeah.
Which Kellen Moore is still going to be the offensive coordinator.
Did Dak get franchised yet?
Not yet.
Wait, when's the franchise?
I think March 16th.
Okay.
Something like that.
I think Chiefs used it on Jones.
They did, which was the right move.
Smart.
But Dak, I think franchise is the right move. I think I don't want them to overpay him based on what he did under the bum of a head coach we had named Jason Garrett. I mean,
how many coaches have they had in Dallas now? I know Tom Landry was there for
forever. He was there forever. And
Yeah.
then they had Jimmy Johnson. And then you had Barry Switzer. Then you had Chan Gailey. Then you had Dave Campo. Then you had Bill Parcells. And then you had Wade Phillips. And then Jason Garrett.
So, how many is that?
I don't know. I just listed them.
You didn't count on your fingers?
8.
No.
I don't know what that is. I don't know. Chiefs, yeah.
But I mean, obviously, the greatest coach in that group is Tom Landry. And then, as far as Cowboys history, I'd put Jimmy above Parcells.
Oh yeah. As far as Cowboys history goes,
because he won, not overall, but in Cowboys history, because Jimmy did win 2 Super Bowls and really is credited with the 3rd.
No. That OU Sooner guy got that one.
And then, but then I would
Move on.
I would put Parcells above Barry Switzer because I mean, Barry Switzer just kind of steered the ship for a couple years.
At least he was smart enough to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of coaches come in and say, "No, I want to make